Good morning, dear students. Welcome to the stock and commodity market class. In the last class, we had learned the functions of depository. This is class number 22. In this class, I am going to explain the topic called Constituents of Depository System. Constituents means components of depository system. What are the players? What are the components coming depository system? The first one is depository. Depository is an organization or a system where securities are held in electronic form. As we know, what are the securities? Shares, debentures, bonds, etc. These securities are kept in electronic form, that is known as depository, as we know in previous classes, isn't it? So a depository, it is just like a bank. So in bank, so you transfer of money without handling money, isn't it? So just like in depository also, you can transfer the securities or shares from one person to another person electronically by making book by making entry within few seconds. So we can transfer securities from one person to another person by by making book entry, isn't it? It doesn't require much time. In case of physical transfer of securities, it requires more time, isn't it? So that is there is no such kind of problem here. And also in bank we can see safe custody of money, isn't it? So just like that. So depository also. So here safe custody of our securities. What are the securities we have hold? So here depository will take care of our securities. That is nothing but safe custody of our securities, isn't it? Also, in bank account, so bank holds funds in an account, isn't it? So here our funds are there in our account, in our bank account, isn't it? In depository, in our account, our securities holdings, our securities are kept in our account in depository, isn't it? So here, bank transfer funds between accounts on the instruction of account holder, isn't it? So just like that, in depository also, as for the instruction given by us as a investor or account holder, when we give instruction to depository, so according to our instructions, it will do transactions. So your transfer of securities from one account to another account, it is done by depository as per the instruction given by us as an investor, isn't it? So that is depository. Second one, depository participant. Depository participant acts as an intermediary or a link between investor and depositories. So investors means we are the investors. Depository means here two depositories are there. NSDL, National Securities Depository Limited, Central Depository Securities Limited, CDSL, NSDL. These two depositories are there. Investors, we are the investors. In between depositories and investors, so here acts as an intermediary is known as depository participant. So here we are as investor we can't we don't have direct access to depository. We can't talk to depositories directly. So whatever we want to do transactions, it is all possible through depository participant. Is the link. So through depository participant, so we can give instruction to depositories. We can transfer securities from one account to another account. So that instruction is also given by us through depository participant to the depository, isn't it? Because depository participant have an identity number for identification. So a depository has to maintain accounts of securities of each investor. Here number of investors are there. For each investor, a separate account is maintained by depository, isn't it? The depository participant gives intimation about holdings from time to time by sending a statement of holding or giving a passbook, isn't it? So here, depository participant will give information about holding of our securities holding. How many shares we have, so date. Such details are given by the depository participant through statement. They will give information. Also, investor desires the services of depository. He has to open an account with depository through depository participant. So next, who can act as a depository participant? According to SEBI guidelines. SEBI guidelines, in financial institutions, banks, stockbrokers can act as depository participant. They can act as intermediary. Next, beneficial owner. Who is the beneficial owner? As we are the investor, we are the beneficial owner. So in our name, so we can open demat account. Also, our name is recorded with the depository, and we can enjoy more rights and benefits, such as getting of dividend from the company, getting of bonuses, also vote at meeting. So voting, so we have voting right, isn't it? So vote at meeting. So these are all benefits we can enjoy as an investor. So that's why investor is called it as beneficial owner. Next, issuer company. So issuer company means which company going to issue securities to public or the people like us. So that is known as issuer company. Which company going to issue securities to us? That is known as issuer company. So here, before issuing securities to us, that company must register its name with the depository. Then only it is eligible to, it has right to issue securities to us. That is known as issuer company, isn't it? So next, so issuer company means which company going to issue securities to us? People like we are the investors to us, isn't it? So that is issuer company. It is also a part of depository system, component of depository system. Next, fifth constituent is stock exchange and stock brokers. Stock exchange. It is an organized market where, so here buying and selling of securities is possible, isn't it? So stock exchange is also known as secondary market. So where it is a ready market, it is a marketplace where we can buy securities, where we can sell securities. It is known as stock exchange. It is also a part of uh, depository system. And stockbrokers. Stockbrokers are members of stock exchange. They are the members of stock exchange. So their function is buying and selling of securities on behalf of clients, customers. So if as a buyer, so you want to buy securities, so stockbroker will buy securities on behalf of us. If you want to sell securities, so you should sell your securities through stockbrokers. You want to buy securities, you must buy securities only through stockbrokers. You can't directly can't do the buying and selling of securities at stock exchange. Through stockbrokers, you can do so buying and selling of securities, isn't it? Also, for doing that job, so stockbrokers will charge some commission to us. We need to pay some commission to stockbrokers for doing favor to us by way of buying and selling of securities, isn't it? Also, as a dealers, they can buy and sell on their own for making gains also. So for their for their name itself, so they can buy and sell securities for making profits, isn't it? Next, sixth one is clearing corporation or clearing house and clearing members. Clearing corporation is a central organization created to facilitate efficient, fast, and economic settlement of transactions at the stock exchange. So, clearing corporation, it is an organization. It is created to do the settlement of transactions economically, quickly, very fastly, efficiently at the stock exchange. Economic means reasonable cost. So a settlement of transactions should be possible, and also settlement of transactions should be possible quickly, and then that settlement of transactions should be efficient. So to these are the objectives of clearing corporation and clearing members. So it is an internal department of stock exchange. So clearing corporation, it is a internal department of stock exchange, isn't it? So next, it is also a part of constituent of depository system. Next, seventh one is banking system. Seventh one is banking system. Depository. Depository. Banking system. Seventh one is banking system. Depository essentially plays a double role, two roles, that is, of a depository and a limited bank. It maintains current accounts for participants and executes fund transactions relating to securities transaction for participants. So here banking system is there. So when we buy transactions, when we buy securities, so then payment should be made by banks on behalf of us to seller of securities, isn't it? So when we buy securities at stock exchange, so then so bank will made payment on behalf of us to the seller of securities. And when we sell securities to buyer, so then on behalf of buyer, bank will make payment to us sellers, isn't it? So this is a banking system. We can see it is a part of depository participant, and also it maintains a current account for participants, isn't it? So next, so eighth one is investors. Investors may be individuals or corporate who have acquired shares either in primary market or secondary market. So eighth one is investors. Investors may be individuals. We are the people. Or investors may be corporate customers also, corporate people also, companies. So, individual or corporate customers, if they have, if they hold shares, if they purchase shares either in primary market or in secondary market. So, as an investor or a company, so they may purchase shares either in primary market or in secondary market. So those people uh, known as investors. Investors means one who buy shares or securities. Securities means shares, debentures, bonds, etc. These are securities. So an individual or company who buy securities either at primary market or in secondary market. So they can buy in any market. If they buy and hold securities, is known as investor, isn't it? The buyer of securities, he will become holder of security, so he is known as investor. So he can buy securities either in primary market or in secondary market or stock market. So they are known as there are the people who buy shares either in primary market or secondary market. They are all known as investors, isn't it? So in this class, so we have learned about the constituents of depository system. So that the first constituent is depository, second one is depository participant, third one is beneficial owner, fourth one is issuer company, fifth one is stock exchanges or stock brokers, sixth one is clearing corporation or clearing house and clearing members, seventh one is banking system, eighth one is investors. So these are all constituents of depository. So in this class, we have learnt these constituents, isn't it? It is very important, dear students. So keep watching this video till you understand properly. So don't miss it. This is very important. So thank you, one and all.